Welcome to this lesson on how AI can help multilingual learners and where it falls short. I'm glad you're here. Picture this. A student walks into your classroom speaking 3 languages fluently, just not the one the lesson is in. For years, we've talked about meeting multilingual learners where they are. Today, AI tools promise to do exactly that, instantly. Real-time translation, personalized reading levels, pronunciation feedback on demand. In this lesson, we're going to break down where AI actually helps our MLLs and where it quietly gets in the way. We'll look at the genuine wins, the critical shortcomings, and the real takeaway for your classroom practice. Let's start with the wins, because there are real ones. First, instant scaffolding. AI can take a dense grade-level text and, in seconds, generate a leveled version. Same content, accessible language. That used to take teachers hours of manual rewriting. By providing accessible entry points into complex content, AI ensures that language isn't a barrier to understanding the core concepts. It allows students to engage with the same grade-level standards as their peers, just with a different level of linguistic support. Second, real-time translation as a bridge, not a crutch. When a student is lost mid-lesson, a quick translation can be the difference between disengaging completely and staying in the room mentally. It's not the goal, but it's a bridge to get them there. The key is intentionality. We use translation to ensure the student understands the what so they can focus their energy on the how of language acquisition. It provides a safety net that encourages risk-taking rather than retreat. Third, low-stakes practice judgment-free. AI tools let students rehearse speaking, get pronunciation feedback, or draft a paragraph without the social pressure of doing it in front of peers. For many MLLs, that privacy is what gets them to actually try. This safe space is crucial for building the confidence needed for public participation. It allows for the repetition and experimentation that are essential for language development, away from the fear of making mistakes in front of others. Fourth, it gives teachers back time. Time spent translating materials or building 3 versions of the same worksheet can now go into something AI can't do: actually talking with students. AI handles the repetition, you handle the relationship. This shift in focus is powerful. By automating the mechanical tasks of preparation, we can redirect our human energy toward the nuanced, empathetic interactions that truly drive student growth and belonging. Now, the part we can't skip. AI doesn't understand culture, it pattern matches language. A literal translation can miss humor, idiom, tone, or cultural context entirely. Break a leg, translated word for word, doesn't mean good luck. It means something is wrong. This lack of cultural nuance is a major pitfall. If we rely solely on AI for communication, we risk alienating our students by missing the very heart of their languages, the history, values, and humor that define their identities. It can also flatten a student's voice. When AI cleans up a student's writing, it can erase the very thing that makes their thinking visible. Their developing syntax, their code switching, their unique way of building meaning. That's not noise, that's data about their learning. We need to see those errors because they are the fingerprints of growth. If we let AI mask the developmental process, we lose the ability to provide the targeted human feedback that students actually need to progress. And it can create dependency instead of growth. If a tool always gives the answer, the student never builds the internal skill. The goal isn't to remove struggle, it's to make struggle productive. Productive struggle is where the real learning happens. Our role as educators is to bridge that gap, to provide enough support to keep the student engaged, but not so much that we do the thinking for them. AI should be a ladder, not a wheelchair. Finally, it can quietly widen equity gaps. Not every student has reliable devices, internet, or comfort with the technology. If AI access becomes the difference between participating and not, we've created a new barrier while trying to remove an old one. Equity must be at the forefront of our AI implementation. We must ensure that these tools don't become another way to separate the haves from the have-nots in our classrooms. Access is not a luxury, it's a prerequisite for success. So where does that leave us? AI is not a replacement for instruction or relationship. It's a tool that's only as good as the teacher who's deciding when, how, and why to use it. The best use of AI isn't, can the AI do this for the student? It's asking, does this help the student do something they couldn't do alone yet? And am I watching closely enough to know when to pull it back? That's the real skill we're building, making pedagogical decisions with AI in the room. In the next lesson, we're going to get hands-on, testing specific tools against real MLL scenarios and building a framework to evaluate any new AI tool you encounter. The question was never, should we use AI? It's, how do we use it well? Let's keep going. I'll see you in the next lesson where we'll put these concepts into practice. See you there.